You went through an entire free agency mock-up, and here's a look. So you have Dobbs, the quarterback, coming in. You get Jeff Wilson. It's a pretty good receiving running back. Moore, who you traded for. Oliver, tight end. You see Froholt, Levine. Now, edge rushers, you got Arden Key and Carlos Dunlop. You got Enyemaya, a young guy, and Rankins, an older guy. You have them re-signing Walker, Perryman, you got Ragland, and you get Thornhill. Now, you add all those up, and it's still under $60 million, and the Browns can create $60 million in cap space by restructuring 2, maybe 3 contracts. So all these, are in theory doable. Kind of your thought process as you were putting that together.
Yeah, so at running back, you hope that Jerome Ford can be a receiving back and be your number 2, but you're going to have to add a veteran anyways for depth. I really like Jeff Wilson, or you could even look at like a Raheem Mostert, are guys that are going to be rather cheap, but bring a speed element to the position and good pass catching ability. So they bring a different kind of thing than what Nick Chubb brings if it doesn't work out with Ford, or just as depth. Adding more speed, I think, is never a bad thing. So, and Wilson's like a league minimum guy. So that's like a no-brainer for me, because I really liked his game both in San Francisco, where he's ran in the scheme already with Shanahan, and the same thing in Miami with Mike McDaniels there. One of the things, part of the trade aspect of this was that you free up some money. Like, I think they should attack the defense, Dave, by not one big signing, but a couple mid-tier defensive tackles and maybe a couple rotational edges. Like a Dunlop is considered a rotational edge. Like, he's not going to play more than like 500, 600 snaps in a season. But like an Arden Key will get big money because he's going to play the full load, right? Kind of like Garrett would. And in this one, I find it able to go after Key because of the freed up money. And you can't see it on here, but just under that is the $12.5 million you save by getting off of Teller. And there, then you can see that that's kind of why I was able to get the Key is the highest paid player that you bring in at 9.25 APY projected, so average per year. So with Dunlap as your third edge, and then you get Onyemata, who is very good, young guy, can rush the passer. Rankins is more of an all-around guy, can stop the run. Both of them mid their tier, but not spending the $20 million on Payne, but 2 pieces at $6 to $7 million, right? Yep. Perriman as depth at linebacker that could play middle linebacker if you needed him to, and gives Anthony Walker, because of his health history, a run for his money potentially there. He's coming off a really good year. I added one corner in free agency that's new, and that's Oliver. He's a slot corner for obvious reasons. I think that with the frequency that cornerbacks are dinged these days, Dave, if you have a slot corner at the ready, you can at least give Newsome the opportunity to play outside when one of those guys is hurt, right? So I think that you should at least have one guy that can play the nickel besides Newsome on the roster. So that's where Oliver comes in. And I really love Juan Thornhill. I wanted him in the draft. He's a free agent now. The Browns need that kind of a player at free safety. He's not too expensive. 5.5 APY makes a ton of sense for me.
Yeah, I like the idea of bringing in 4 guys that add up to 30, 35 million as opposed to 2. You need that kind of help.